Hello folks, this is Kermit the Streamer doing a Magic Arena stream. I'm going to be doing Quick Draft. Today's the day that Quick Draft came live, so I've got my 5,000 gold ready to go. So this is Quick Draft. This is all bot drafting, so it's against computer opponents for the draft portion, and then for the actual playing the games portion, it's against people. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I have done a little bit of research into this set, but I've only played one sealed and one draft. So I'm not by any means good at this. One of the things that Arena has done, and also my availability of time has done, is that I've gotten way less good at Magic. Not that I was necessarily that great to begin with, but definitely worse than I was. So this is not a video telling you how you should play. This is a video telling you how I play, and that's going to be riddled with mistakes and silliness. So here we go. Since this is Quick Draft, there is no timer, which is great, so I can take plenty of time to look at all of the cards. Claim Jumper, this is a rare. Let's see here. For 3 mana, it allows us to get a extra planes. This is called Mana Ramp, because at the end of the turn, I have played a land and gotten to put an extra land into play. And then the cool thing about Claim Jumper is if the opponent has more lands than me, when I do the first thing, when I do what's on the card, then I still get to do it again. So you can actually ramp pretty well. Now, this is a card that's better when you're on the draw, or when you have kind of a slow start. That being the case, I like this. It's high first pick right now. Scorching Shot for 2 red mana, 5 damage. That should kill just about anything. That's a good card. This Ruckus Entertainer. I like this, but I don't think I would pick it here when these other 2 options are here. Humiliate. White, black. Discard a card and put a counter on a creature you control at sorcery speed. Okay card. I'm not going to be playing it. I love at knife point, but I don't know that I'm willing to commit to being black-red outlaw, although this is a good deck. I just didn't see that it was a winning deck the first time I played it. My first draft was one of these decks, and it was insane. I always had a ton of mercenaries out, but decks that were faster could kick my butt. So, let's see, form a posse. This also looks really interesting. There have been cards like this in other sets that were very good. I had this and did not run it in my other deck. Stagecoach Security. Creatures you control get +1/+1, gain vigilance. This is a decent body. I like cards like this that have plot, because you don't necessarily have to run them out on the turn that you would normally cast them. And plot is just amazing. But I still think this is too slow. Loan Shark is amazing. If there were nothing else in this pack that I was excited about, Loan Shark would probably be just an auto pull. This is a great card. It's done well in anything I've seen it in. Fake Your Own Death. I like this card historically. I don't know if it's good in this set. Highway Robbery is amazing. You always want to plot this card, and you pretty much, because you get to plot it, you always get to cast it when it's more advantageous for you. Spinewoods Paladin, this card has seen a lot of play. It does really well. Cards like this that give you 3 life when they come into play have historically been good. This one's cheaper and can be plotted. So, one of the drawbacks of plot was that sometimes you're not doing anything on the turn that you plot. That may mean that you're taking a little bit of extra damage. This 3 life lets you get a little bit of it back, and then on the turn that you're putting Spinewoods Paladin into play, you're probably putting 2, maybe 3 things in. So all of a sudden your board went from being kind of meager to having a 5/4, probably a 3x and a 2x in the same turn, or at least just looking a lot fatter than you were before. Silver Deputy, this is another land search card. Great way to get deserts if you're an outlaw deck. It basically is a mercenary. I do like this card. Not going to be the pick here. Conduit Pylons. This is a desert. That's the only thing that's notable. This Claim Jumper is just too good. White's a color I want to play anyway. Red is another color I like. Green is supposed to be the best color of the set, so Spinewood's Paladin is definitely enticing, but this Claim Jumper has just way too much upside, and at 3/3 for 3, that's decent anyway. So let's take a nice cheap card. Now we're not committed to white. I don't really care for this Insatiable Avarice. Decimate. No, not really. Not really a fan of that. Bounding Felidar. This is a mount. So this is a creature. Basically, it's always a creature when it comes into play, but then it gets bonuses whenever you can basically crew it with the saddle ability. So in order to do that, you tap any number of creatures that equal power 2, and then you'll get this saddle bonus for doing that. I don't think this is my pick here. Canyon Crab, I like this because he's a looter, and all you have to do to loot is not do anything from your hand. So this means that if you've got a plot crazy deck, you're going to be doing that a lot, and you're going to get a lot of extra cards. 0/5 is very hard to punch through, and at 2 mana, you don't mind if somebody uses a trick on this thing to kill it. Plus, you always have the option to activate that +2/-2 ability right there, which means that a lot of times when they do pull off some sort of trick, you might be able to make sure that they take damage. So this is kind of like a classic control card. You're going to pass the turn with mana up and just see what they do. This is a great card to have when you're playing decks that have counter magic or instant speed removal. Plan the Heist. The fact that this has plot is everything. Getting to draw 3 cards for free on a later turn is good. You do have to lose your 4th turn, but you can make that work. Sterling Supplier. I actually really like this. I'm going to earmark that right now. You know, it's a little overcosted for what it is, but historically, a creature that's flying 3/4 with this stat line that also gives a counter is good. I am hesitant about it in this block, but we're going to mark it for now. Daring Thunder Thief. Oh, this card's great. Again, this is another like control magic kind of, or control deck kind of thing, where you pass the turn, leaving mana up for a counter. They don't do anything, or you know, they do something less good, thinking that you might counter their stuff, and then you just end turn pop in a 4/4, and that's a well-statted, well-costed 4/4. Black Snag Buzzard, I do like this, but I don't think that's the direction we're going. I think Thunder Salvo is probably actually it right now, because I do like pairing white and red together. I do like this giant beaver as well. There's 2 of them here. It is 4 mana for a 4/4 vigilance. That seems pretty good. And there's a chance I might wheel the other one. So we're going to go with the giant beaver, even though I do think Thunder Salvo might be the better pick. I do like the Canyon Crab too, but we're going to go with the giant beaver. Hopefully, we're playing a deck here that I think is going to try to speed things out. So we're looking for mana dorks. We're looking for other ways to be ahead on board on lands. What's this Fomori Vault do? So it's for artifacts. When you have artifacts, you can basically get rid of something to kind of mini tutor. It seems like it's too slow. I'd play it if I had the deck that supported it. Bovine Intervention. I love the name of this card. Destroy artifact or creature. Oh, you give them a 2/2? Yeah, let's not do that. This is great. This is the kind of card that's great when you're getting like a 6 or more drop, some sort of bomb. But the fact that you're giving them a 2/2 means that they're still going to be able to punch your face with it. This Beastbound Outcaster seems like a very good pick. It's got, you can plot it out there on 2, and then every time you make a thing that's 4 or greater, you get to draw a card, which is what we're going to want to do with this deck. I do like seeing this Raucous Entertainer, but with the plot cost being 2 on this, I think it's just a better card. I think we're kind of working towards making a deck that just has a bunch of giants or better. So we'll go with the Beastbound Outcaster. It's something we want to do anyway. Oh, I like this Wrangler, the Damned. I've played it really well in Sealed. I've seen it do really well in Sealed. Rictus Robber. So this is morbid. When something dies the turn you play it, you get a 2/2, and plot here just gives you that versatility to be able to, plot it out and then make sure that you're only casting it when it gives you that extra advantage. Oh, this is for sure my pick. Hard Bristle Bandit. It's a mana dork. Plus, anytime you do the outlaw thing, it untaps, so it can like hyper speed you out. A deck like this just has so much more reach in terms of being able to play everything to the board, be able to plot all the things and cast something in the same turn. And it does give you mana of any color too, so we get another one of these and we open the option to really easily get into a third color. I like this Brattle Bighorn here, but Outlaw Medic, everybody I listen to says Outlaw Medic is amazing, so we're going to try to grab any of those that we can, unless we have a really compelling reason not to. And I don't think another common is a big enough reason. The Verge, if we care about deserts, that's going to be interesting, but I think Outlaw Medic is just a thing. Normally I don't like things that you kind of want to die, but the stats on these on this guy 1/3 means that a lot of times people are going to choose to kill the other thing rather than him, and that point of lifelink means that they're not hitting you for 4. They may be killing one of your things, but you're going up 1, and if you're able to mount any sort of offense at all, then you're going to be just fine. I'm probably higher on this Wingsmith than other people, and because of that I'm going to take it. Steer Clear is quite possibly the better card, but I do not think that I'm going to be playing an offensive game. But let's just say for a second that I am playing a more offensive game, then the Drover Grizzly is the better pick. But I think we're going to go Inventive Wingsmith. It's more versatile in the moment. Nurturing Pixie, I've heard this is good, but I don't trust it. But just imagine a world where you are bouncing your Claim Jumper to good effect. This seems really good. Stagecoach Security, we've seen one of those. Dance the Tumbleweeds is supposed to be really good when you've got the desert deck. It's going to be Pixie, so what does it do? Return non-fairy, non-land permanent. Comes in as a 2/2 if you're able to do that. So you're going to drop it on turn 1 just because you're going to be a 1/1 evasive threat, and then otherwise you're probably going to play it as a 2/2 flyer, which not overly impressive, but it's better than just trying a late game 1/1. Tumbleweed Rising. This is interesting because, once again, being able to plot it means you're always going to do it for advantage, but getting an extra 4/4 seems good, and that's a token no less. But I think getting to kill something and gain a couple life is probably a little bit better, even if it's at sorcery speed. Yeah, I think I do need a little bit of removal here. Humiliate. Oh yeah, we saw that before. So I don't know that this is going to end up hitting the main deck, but we'll take a Silver Deputy. Here there's not really anything for us, but we'll take the Supplier. It's a fine top end. And I like Snakeskin Veil a lot. There's a lot of power here to being able to one cast, to either turn off a spell or do the double thing where you turn off a spell and get to grow your creature and get something else. So this is a card that gives a lot of potential 2-for-1 pressure. Or it just, make sure that they can't do that thing they really need to do. Or just kill your stuff. It's not really a good card here that I want. I'll just take the uncommon. Hindering Light. I'll take the uncommon that is also a cantrip. If we end up branching out into either of these colors, these cards are acceptable. Oh, I don't like this one at all. But I like that they put it in the set just because it's interesting, but I don't really like the card. Outlaw Stitcher's amazing. This is actually a card that's worth splashing. Especially if you end up getting a decent amount of plot cards and can just stabilize the board in such a way that you can cast a bunch of them on the same turn. Hypothesis is great. Steer Clear. So there's nothing amazing in white. Gold Rush, create a treasure token, and mini Jack Growth. So good combat trick that sets you up, ramps you in a way. Because treasures, they give you one turn of ramp, basically. This seems good. Rise of the Varmints, especially in a creature-heavy deck, which is, you know, pretty sure that's what we've got. I don't mind the Hound, but I don't wanna start when there are other things to pick. I don't really care for Voracious Varmint, although there is a case for this because the enchantments in this block are very powerful, and they're very hard to get rid of. This guy gives you that ability, and, you know, a bear with a minor upside, a situational one. But the fact that he gets that target, that card type that's hard to target this block, makes it hard to ignore him, at least. But I think it's clear that this is just the best card, so I'm going to take that Outlaw Stitcher. And, you know, it may not end up getting played. We'll just put it over here. Decisive Denial. That's a fight spell or a counter for a non-creature. Boombox. I'm interested in this, but I'm not excited. Arid Archway. I've heard that, you know, I know from experience that what are called Karoo lands are very good, because basically you're putting this down, and although you can't use it the turn you put it down, it has put you 2 mana forward and also possibly allowed you to reset a desert. Plus it advances you so much. So I'm going to go with the Arid Archway. This means that we're possibly less likely to go into a third color, but we'll see what the rest of the draft does for us. Trash the Town I like a lot, because for 5 mana you can do all of these things. Now, one of them only matters on your turn, but you can actually cast this on their guy. So on that until end of turn, target creature gains whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player. You are a player, and it doesn't say you have to target a creature you control. So you can use this in a very weird set of experiences where you could actually make somebody wish they hadn't attacked you. So I'm gonna go for that, because all the other things are also good. The trample bit is less good. But I played lots of games of Magic where that one big blocker just needs trample to win the game. So there are other good cards here. You know, another Reckless Entertainer. The Patient Naturalist is very good. But I don't think it's as good as the Trick here. This is a very good card. We don't have a strong creature base yet, but the fact that it gets 2 things, even though it's at 6 mana, I am going to take it. Let's go ahead and just put this over here for now. Festering Gulch. There's our Voracious Varmint again. I think that's our pick here. I would like to get another Snakeskin Veil, but we've got 2 tricks so far, 1 removal spell. We really got to get that creature base going, even if it's a subpar creature. Honest Rutstein. This is an interesting one, but I don't think it's right to pick it here. Trained Earring seems like our pick, or the Bighorn. I'm going to go Bighorn because it's slightly better, and, you know, that 3/4 stat line, we're looking to have a deck that can stall really well. Go ahead and grab grab this Lone Shark in case we do run the third color. Tornado, destroy target creature with flying. You know, the fact that this has cycling is big, because it's never going to be dead. You know, two to get rid of it isn't 0, but I think the situational upside is enough that the versatility of cycling is worth making it the pick. And it's either Steer Clear or Rise of the Varmints. I'm going to go Rise of the Varmints, because I do think, even though it is pack 2, we're going to get a chance to get some more creatures. Not thrilled with this pick, but it's the best thing here. Okay, I like Red Rock Sentinel a lot, but I think it's clear that the Patient Naturalist is the way to go here. So we've got a theme of having kind of a rampy deck, but we don't really have any hotshot stuff at the top end yet. So another Snakeskin Veil. These are equally good, really, so we'll just, doesn't really matter. Although it is blue, that could help us. We didn't, I mean, I don't know if I don't remember seeing any color support, but Mirage Mesa seems good. I love Free Strider Commando. Haven't played it in draft yet. There's another Beastbound Outcaster. We don't have a lot of 4-powered things, though. Not as many as we'd hoped to get. So I think the Commando or the Mesa is the way to go. Yeah, we're go Commando. Go Commando. Outcast Trailblazer. It's a 4-power. When he comes in, add 1 mana. Anytime we get a creature with 4 or greater, we draw a card. I like the Armadillo here a lot too, because it basically has land cycling for 2. This is one of those things that pays us off for getting the mana ramp to go our way. But I think the cheaper plot guy is just better here. I don't like sending that guy off, but we're going to send him off. Shepherd of the Clouds. This seems really good. Oh yeah, it's for sure good. So this guy's awesome because he's basically a Gravedigger. He only gets a 3 or less guy, which we have a lot of 3 or less guys, a lot of good 3 or less guys too. And then if we ever get in a situation where we have a mount in play, that comes back directly into play. So, you know, for the few mounts that we already have, I think I thought we ended up with 1. Yeah, we got our Giant Beaver, we got our Brown Bighorn. So this just boosts the value of the cards we already have, 2 of them. And if we see any others, it'll make them better too. So, and it's a good card on its own. Holy cow, people don't like this card, and it's funny because to me it's the same as the 2/1 Angel that was awesome, and what they've added here is Flash. So, like, it's the same price, it's gotten better, and people still don't seem to like it. So it's what I'm going for here. Journey to Nowhere. Oh, this is good. Yeah, so I was talking about enchantments being resilient. I want to take this Lonely Arroyo because then I can start looking at the Outlaw Stitcher and Lone Shark again as being something possible to play, but Journey to Nowhere is just Oblivion Ring for 2, and that does everything it needs to do. I do wish I could run the blue. Hey there, we wheel our Spinewoods and Armadillo. What's this Stubborn Burrow Fiend do? Oh man, that's just too good. So when you get to saddle them up, you mill 2 cards, and then it gets bigger for the number of creature cards in your graveyard. So, you know, because we have something else that cares about creature cards in the graveyard in Rise of the Varmints, it's just really good. I mean, I like the Armadillo too, but I think getting all of my dudes on the board early is what this deck wants to do. Eartha Joe. I don't think so, Eartha Joe. Oh man, Rustler Rampage. Talk about an overrun. So you can give one creature double strike, or you can untap all your creatures. So this can either be a defensive spell or an offensive spell. So for 2 mana, they're taking a whole lot more damage than they thought they were. Or for 2 mana, 3 mana, you're blocking when they don't expect it, and it's a wall of double strike. So I think that's definitely the card. Situationally really good. Vengeful Folk. Yeah, that seems like it's fine. Yeah, we're definitely not doing anything with the blue, so I'll just put that away. Bovine Intervention, no. Wanted Griffin. Not exciting, but a fine guy. I'm taking the Stagecoach Security here because he's got 4 power. And we like things that are 4 power that we get to cheat in like that with that plot. Holy cow, I don't mind having 2 of those. Ankle Biter, I don't know, I don't think I'm going to play it. Trevor Grizzly, that's another mount. So we have kind of a white-green mount deck here that wants to get lots of creatures in the graveyard. The fact that my mounts are also creatures all the time means that that's just a thing that's happening for us. So now it's about cuts. So we want to try to get down to our 40 cards. So I'm going to split between creatures and spells real quick. So yeah, that gives us 21 creatures, 9 non-creature spells. Seems like a lot. We'll go ahead and move this to the 4 because he's a plot. Stick that there. Plot 4. Plot 2. Well, I hate to say it, but this Inventive Wingsmith looks like it's got to go. We don't want that. Alright, so here we go. This is always the hardest part. So I think I'm going to make sure to cut a spell. And I think the Dream of Rustler Rampage is a dream. I want Trash the Town for sure. I want Ariad's Lullaby, Journey to Nowhere. Tornado's great, but it's a situational card. Rise of the Varmints is definitely in here. And Betrayal at the Vault. So if we did have, more 6 power creatures or something like that, I think Betrayal at the Vault would be just an auto include, but basically what we're looking at is when things are going well for us, when we're already winning the game, we're dealing 4 to 2 different creatures, and that's good, but I think we're going to want to try to finish the game before it becomes our option. So we're down to 43. Do we have come into play effects that are worth? Yeah, we do have some come into play effects that are worth playing the Pixie with. Like getting to bounce a Holy Cow. I don't know if we can afford the tempo loss from that, but seems like a very fine thing to do. So we basically have 2 things that give us cards whenever we've got 4 or greater. We don't have a lot of 4 or greater, but we've got enough to do it. I think our Griffin goes because we've got better flyers. is not actually that good. And I don't want to put my giant beaver away. I want to show off that giant beaver. Always got to show off the giant beaver. So I've got 2 cards to cut. So the thing about Silver Deputy is that you're putting that land on top of your library, so you're not really advancing yourself. You are getting yourself out of a dumb situation where you don't have the mana, but in any other aspect, most of the time he's not really advancing your game plan at all. So if we were playing the 3 colors, this would be better, but we don't really need it since we're not playing the 3 colors. So that leaves us with 1 more cut. 1 more cut. Can it be a land? We've got 17 lands, and our curve stops at 5. It can be a land. And it should technically be a plains. I don't think I want it to be a plains. Yep, plains it is. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to add that to decks, and I'll cut this stream for now.